Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. It's time for the Monday through Friday daily episode of The Last Rip, where we take a look at the top NYSE and top Nasdaq gainers in the stock market. And also, we will be announcing the winner of the $100 giveaway for passing 6,000 subscribers on this channel. Thank you everybody in the community who has helped us achieve this goal and continue to build this community. We really do appreciate it, but we're going to jump into that a little later on in the video. So let's take a look at the SPY. So the SPY did rebound and got back above the 20-day. Still possibly could be a bear trap, but it is showing some strength. Some volume did come back into the SPY. I don't know how much higher this will run. That 425 will be pretty tough resistance, so we'll see tomorrow if it can push up there and break over that. For now, it could just continue to move up slowly like it has been, but I would expect some more selling to start coming in like we've been seeing and not to see a move straight up. On to the Nasdaq. So we don't have a whole lot of volume on the Nasdaq today. XAIR was up 20%, got a nice slow climb pretty much all day on the 20. It did have a quick little pop at market open, pushing from 570 up to 628. And it looks like the director of the company purchased 350,000 shares of the company's stock. Anytime that somebody from within the company is going to put a lot of their money into the company, then that is a good sign that it is a strong company. So that got some hype and ended up just getting a little bit of buy-in throughout the rest of the day. But now it is above all EMAs. Pretty low float. We could see this thing maybe move some more tomorrow or the next day. Next one we have on here is GROY. This is a gold company. It looks like they announced inclusion in VanEck Vector's Junior Gold Miners ETF. So yeah, this is a junior gold miner, and that got a pop. Anytime you see a stock going into some type of ETF, that's a decent sign that it could get a pop. So it basically gapped up in pre-market. Overall EMAs, the crossover happened right there on the 15-minute, and it just ran all the way to 588 and continued to hold the 20-day in the after hours. So it's pretty bullish now, and all the EMAs are where they need to be. So this is actually a gold company that may be one of those ones that might make my top 5 list if I do some more research into it. I do like how bullish it is at the moment. Next we got SSNT's Silver Sun Technologies. Looks like they announced a cash dividend, and it is a special dividend of 60 cents per share. And of course, this cheap of a stock, it was down around $8. People saw that they're going to pay out 60 cents for holding it. People are going to jump in here. That's a pretty decent dividend yield. Special dividends are a way companies can try to stir up some investor hype, because you can see there wasn't much volume on this before, other than a few days where it did have some big rips but gave most of its gains back. You can see plenty of times in the past a lot of upper wicks. But it's been consolidating nicely, climbing up the 50-day there. And the 20, this is one to keep a watch on. There's only 5 million shares, so very, very low float. I'm going to add that to the watch list as well. Looks like this is another acquisition. Yep, somebody is acquiring this company. That's why it's going sideways with the big gap up. Nothing really there. The rest of these very low volume. On to the NYSE, we got ALF, ALFI, whatever they're called. Had the nice little build up, some pops there over this week and last week, and today it just exploded. Coming up in pre-market to 750, getting back above all the EMAs, and ran all the way to 17 in after hours. So there was a lot of money to be made on this rip. But it's all because of all this volume it's been getting and this nice build-up, bullish above all indicators. And it actually looks like they're going to do a $2 million buyback. So they were trying to keep a tight float and their retail base unwavering. So that's a pretty interesting move. Some people say this is a good thing. Some people say it's a bad thing, that companies shouldn't be buying back shares, but yeah, that's kind of a debate I really don't have an opinion on. Seems to be a really good thing for Alfie's price because it did shoot up. Pretty far off the 20 days, so I would expect a pullback tomorrow. Shorters are going to want to come in and try to push this down. And then the next day we could see another rip. Unless this thing just opens out the gate tomorrow firing off. There is a possibility it could do that. But since it's IPO'd at 241, if this starts pushing up to that $20 area, I mean, that's quite a big move. So I would expect a pullback. Next, we got DDD, a little bit higher float, 125 million shares outstanding. Let's see what kind of news they got. They announced an agreement for a 3D bioprinted regenerative soft tissue matrix for use in breast reconstruction procedures. Agreements, all the rest of it doesn't really matter that much, but agreements with other companies, that's the key words you want to look at. That is going to bring some hype in, and this was already right there, almost bullish above the 20-day. Had been making a nice move up before a little pullback, and then just exploding off of that agreement news from this 29 area to 38 and held all of its gains into after hours. So very nice there. We could see that continue to climb. Next we have WWR, Westwater Resources. This is one we were keeping a watch on this morning because they built a graphite processing plant in Alabama. And that got a quick pop. They were halted for news this morning. And when it came out with that, it just shot up all the way to 570 and held most of its gains. Now we could see a continuation run on the daily on WWR not too long ago. It was all the way up at 1156. And the 20-day on the daily here is starting to cross the other EMAs. It bounced across the 50 there a week or two ago. And now with this big spike, if it continues to run, we could see a full crossover and this thing go really bullish. So I'm going to put that on the watch list as well as another possible play to keep an eye on. Then we got GEM, of course, GameStop. It's a little bit of meme stock action. Got bought up in pre-market, but it couldn't make a crossover. You can see it didn't cross over until after hours. It had that shoot up, consolidated sideways, tried to push up again. Was pushed all the way back down to the bottom of the EMAs, and then right before in power hour pushed up once again. But on the daily chart, it couldn't break over that 20-day moving average. So if it cannot break that 20-day moving average, we'll see GameStop probably dump off back to some of these lower levels, because really there's no reason it should be this high in the first place. GAN chose somebody as a regulatory partner, and they being hired to manage a phase 2B trial. Basically kind of like an agreement, or the company they're hiring is really good and it got some hype. But this thing has given its gains back anytime that it has ripped, and it did the same thing today, as we can see on this daily candlestick here. Got a quick pop at market open, ran from 850 all the way to 1228, and then pushed all the way back down to where it started. So it is bullish above all the EMAs right now. It could be one to keep an eye on for some quick profits. If it can break that $10 area, that there's a lot of resistance right across there, and that's just at the 975 area, and then the $10 area is right above that. So $9.75 to $10 is pretty strong. It barely held over $10 for just about 30 minutes and then came down. Very low float though. I am going to put it on the watch list. 2 million in float is super, super low float. We're seeing a lot of volume in some low float stocks here lately. Tupperware is up 10%. That's right. TUP. TUP is the Tupperware company. Tupperware announced a $250 million share buyback and prepays term loan debt. So they're able to pay some debt off, announcing that buyback, which, like I said, is kind of a controversial move. But for shareholders, it can be good if the company's going to buy the stocks back from shareholders at a higher price. And it did get a little pop, crossing all the EMAs there at market open, running from 21 up to 23. Just a small little pop. Tupperware is still bearish. I mean, it just now got above the 20, still got all these EMAs ahead of it, and plus it's Tupperware. It's not something that I would invest in. But SBH is a Sally's Beauty holding, so the Sally supplies a lot of people go to for hair cutting supplies and all of that. Looks like they got a report from Oppenheimer raising the price target up to 30. And it's one of those consumer discretionary stocks, so it got a little pop, little volume there from that $20 area up to $22 area. Looks like some of these are just pops from the SPY coming back up, and these are just a little bit lower float stocks. So today I did buy a position on AUD. This had a nice run. I was looking for it to test $4. It got up to $3.90. I was trading this on Street Smart Edge. I got in about 3:30 when it started breaking that pre-market high, and then it ripped up there and then immediately sold off. So once again, I did not lock in profit, being greedy, looking for that extra move to $4. And I am currently still holding it because it did hold the EMAs closed on the daily chart above the 200. So the 20 is very close to crossing the 100, and this had really, really good news. They announced a major advancement in artificial intelligence with a new audio processor thing. AI technology is where the future is going. So I was expecting a lot more out of this low float, and I think it still has a chance to run. It's still pretty low in a low price range for the whole year. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. As long as it can hold up this $3 and stay above that 200, I would expect it to come back up again and test this $3.50, $4 area. And if it can break $4, it's got a lot of room to run up to that $4.56 high and beyond. Probably would get slowed down at $5. And for my Vino swing, yes, I am still holding this bad boy on both accounts. I have 200 shares of it, and yes, it did dip today. Is that a little concerning? A little bit, but this is such a low float that it very well could sell off back down to these $4 areas. I was expecting a possible little sell-off because of all these wicks, and the sell-off was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, which is a good sign in my opinion, because it held up the 20-day. Immediately as soon as it dropped down to the 20-day, it didn't even get to the $5 area in the 100-day. It was bought up and pushed back up. So still holding above the support in this 550 area, which has been strong support so far, held up multiple times. I'm still expecting a pretty big rip coming out of this soon. This is some nice consolidation, getting a lot of selling out of this stock. So there's not really been a whole ton of buying in it other than this first day, just enough buying to keep holding it up while all the sellers are getting taken out. So it's time to announce the winner of the $100 giveaway for our 6K celebration. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Oh, and here we go. Keela Norden from Miami, Florida. I will contact you via email and work out how you will receive your payment from here. So congratulations to Keela Norden for winning the $100 giveaway, and to Brian McLowry over on the crypto channel for winning the $50 Bitcoin giveaway. So congratulations to the winners of this giveaway. There will be giveaways in the future. If you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to continue to help build this community. When we reach 10,000 subscribers, we will do a bigger giveaway on both channels. So do everything you can to help us build the greatest trading and investing community and network that there is in the land. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.